Howdy peeps, okay, I'm gonna jump right into this one. We are cutting, we are started on the 9 landowners job, and for some reason I did not get any footage of the yard. The yard was complex to put in, but Big Daddy figured that out, and it's a yard setup for the knuckle boom is setting lower than the trucks, which is not good. That you don't never want your knuckle boom lower than the trucks, but it happened. It's life, and we'll get along, you know. But the knuckle boom is setting lower than the trucks. We had to set this yard up. This is the 9 landowners job, and we are definitely going to have to truck with Tiny on this thing because this job is going to be a long one. It actually gets pretty daggone long by the time we get towards the end of it. But today is the first day I'm here. Now, Derek and Junkyard had started this job the other day with Titus. And they have a section up by the yard already cut and skidded up and stockpiled. So the booms already start off. This is my first tree of the job, this white oak veneer. But the boom's already whacking up trees because Derek already had that. I love that, having that second cutter running. That is a wonderful situation for our company, and a good operator to operate that bad boy too. So we're pretty tickled to have it running. And Derek, he's jumped. I'm trying to keep him in flatter ground. There's some big trees, and he could cut them big trees of Titus, but he needs to be able to, stand up straight to cut them. You know what I mean, with his rig. So I'm kind of jumping here and grabbing a couple of these veneer trees. Me and him both ends up with quite a bit of time on the saws. But he's doing his thing and I'm doing mine. And I'm kind of hitting these veneer trees, and then I'm running up this ditch, which I don't get with Brutus much. The Brutus coverage. And I'm kind of trying to run a ditch and then hold him up on the hilltops. And then run the ditchy ground. And it works out good overall. It slows Brutus down a little bit because he's doing more driving than he is cutting. But I'm keeping the overall production going good because Derek keeps that hot saw humming. So anyways, this here is a white oak veneer tree. And this is some of the best veneer trees. I mean, it's right up there. I don't know if it's the absolute best veneer trees we ever cut or nothing like that, but it is some damn good white oak veneer. I mean, some good ones. And the daggone thing of it is, I'm not a good veneer cutter. And I've cut a lot of timber. But I'm going to tell you right here, I'm not the veneer cutting type. I just don't have the patience. Mostly it's a patience thing. It's just hard for me to get the patience it takes to cut veneer trees. I keep thinking production, and you can't with veneer because they're so expensive. This expensive tree, I can't sit there and tell you what the price is per foot. That's kind of company, information, but it's expensive, I promise you. Look how she slides right through this hole. Right down towards Brutus. Hi, Kelly Malvies.
I found this card that says you want invited.
No, wow. Okay. Cool. Go show it to Mommy.
Mom!
So anyways, here it is on the ground. Now the hinge, I bored through the center of the hinge to make sure and get the meat out of the middle of the tree. And then I'm trying to clean up my hinge wood here. And this is a good stump. It's turned out good. This is not my normal. But we also try to cut the spurs off of this. It's big for a veneer bar. Now I stuck my saw in there to be cocky, and look at that. Is that beautiful or what? I love that view. Now, you cut bigger trees than that, but that's one of the top price ones. So I'm going to get these spurs off here. Now, a lot of that. Now, what's going to happen to this tree is it'll end up in Europe somewhere, is where this tree will end up. So you cut the spurs down and stuff because it fits in a container better. Because this tree will end up getting shipped overseas. And we're in Central America. I'm in Indiana. Those of you don't know where I'm at, I'm in Indiana. And these trees will get hauled to the coast and stuffed in a box. We'll get stuffed in a box here. I forget who ended up buying these trees, but you know, we sell the veneer logs. Look how pretty that grain is. That is a beautiful specimen of a white oak veneer. I don't know what the money is putting that tree, but that's a beautiful tree now. And there's a few of them here like that. Quite a few of them actually. And I'm gonna top him off here right below the double heart. Now you get into them epidermics, that's some small branches that the stem sticks out. You get enough of them epidermics, look at all them epidermics there. Now them branches they'll pretty much make sure that it's not gonna be veneer. So what I'm cutting into is I'm cutting a double heart out and figuring there's gonna be a saw log or two on this trunk that saves me from screwing up veneer value, you know, by cutting a tree off that's not been measured. Now this here's the afternoon. I'm up here. I found myself on the next property owner. There's 9 landowners here, so this tree's on a different landowner. It's a blue one. Blue number 2. Hike. But anyways, this is another high dollar, high quality veneer white oak tree. And the thing about this is, and I'll mention it later, I think, as I'm cutting this, but it's leaning to the right pretty bad. And if you look over on the right, in them bushes over there, you'll see a gravel road goes through there. And that is not the busiest road in the world, but it's got plenty of traffic on it. And this tree is wanting to fall right in that road. And the thing with the veneer tree is you don't want to leave a very big hinge on a veneer tree because it pulls fiber. Now you can see the saw bogging out. This saw, the throttle cable's starting to stretch on this baby pretty good. And for some reason, I hadn't noticed my loss of power yet. But I do. There's going to be quite a few vidges with this saw running like this before it finally gets bad enough I realize what's going on and get it fixed. Now another thing, these veneer trees, you want to get the stump down low because a lot of your money's sitting on the bottom there. An inch is worth I don't know how much. I probably don't want to know because I could have cut this stump 2 inches lower. And if I take that full wrap bar off, most people that cuts veneer trees, they don't use a full wrap bar handle. I use a full wrap, I always have. But in cutting veneer, it's a definite no-no because that can't get you down low enough to the ground. There's how low I should be to the ground. I'm cutting this spur off so I can get my motor in all the way against the trunk of the tree. Because I got a 28-inch bar, and this tree probably requires a 32 probably. 32, 34. 32 probably cut this tree without cutting all the spurs. But I'm trying to. And another thing, when you cut them spurs off up there where your hinge is at especially, it keeps you from pulling out a sliver of sapwood when a tree falls. It helps your tree break off properly on the hinge, which becomes important on a tree like these. And I mean, it ain't the biggest tree in the world, but it's a big boy. It's a big tree. But the thing is it's big. It's large in size and it's large on price per foot. I don't know what this thing's worth. It could be worth $5 a foot.
Now editing this, and more of these videos coming up for a little bit, is going to be editing this. I can tell my daggone throttle cable's getting stretched here pretty good. But for some daggone reason, being rusty or whatnot and whatever, while I was running the saw, I didn't realize it was getting stretched yet, but you can tell now coming through here editing. That's why that saw's a bogging out and that goofy. You know, now that I got it fixed, I can tell why it's acting like it was. You know, which sucks because there's quite a few videos coming up that the saw's gonna just get worse and worse until I finally get it fixed. Yeah, and look at the dump truck over there coming through. I just now realized why I'm editing this. I forgot the whole time I'm doing that tree was leaning towards the road, and I'm trying to cut this daggone veneer tree where you cut most of the hinge out because it's veneer right there by the gravel road. So what I'm actually doing right here is I'm putting Brutus up against this tree to where I got my boom up tight to where the cylinder can's extended to the gland on the main boom. It's all the way extended. And I can get up tight against this thing with Brutus. So when I get out to cut it with the chainsaw, because I'm going to have a thinner hinge, when I get out to cut it with the chainsaw, it can't break off the stump and fall out in the road. Because that's my main concern with the top weight headed towards the county road and the small hinge because this is a veneer. So Brutus, it's one of them deals I think it would do it on its own, but Brutus is going to be the backstop to make sure I got my plan B. See, I'm staring at it right now. To make sure I got myself a plan B in case something does want to go wrong. Leaning towards the highway. I didn't want to take a chance on it. Now I got to drive through here, Brutus, here in a minute. But I thought, heck with it. I got the time. I'm going to go ahead and limb this out with pudding and relieve the stress off this trunk of this tree with my saw so I can piece it apart without,
You know, man, and in hindsight 2020, it's probably more wasting time than anything. But it allows me to, even the lower grade wood and white oak still pretty good. And it's not up there where the low grade wood is not where it should be, but it's still good enough wood to where, good enough price wise where I still want to take care of everything and not be hard on the fibers. And what I'm mostly doing here is loosening the limbs up to where they can break off pretty easy. When I get in there with Brutus, and that's going to be an odd one from up underneath. I have to get Junkyard to come in here and pull this tree out of here. That'd be enough I can finish it up with Brutus. Junkie, you get free here in a second. Come around Derek and come on back here to the gravel road and grab this veneer tree. You stay above the trees I cut, you should have a road all the way back to me. Okay, so I kind of swamped myself into this other tree, and that's what I'm getting cleaned out here. The last tree I'm going to cut today, I think this is pretty much the last tree of the day. That's a big boy too. Man, them some big old white oaks. I'm going to cut this tree out. Obviously, the canopy up there wasn't good on that small sapling. I'm going to cut it out of the way. What was it? It looks like a maple. Yeah. Small maple. You see how the heart of that tree was hollow? Look at that. No bigger than that tree is. It's got hollow in the heart. Now what they call that's a suppressed tree. That white oak's kept that maple suppressed. That maple probably ain't a whole lot younger than that white oak, believe it or not. That great big white oak, it probably ain't a whole lot older than that maple. But that maple sat there in the shade of that white oak. You know, people ask me, I got a comment just the other day, you know, why are you murdering the trees? And I'm like, bub, we're managing the forest. You're releasing trees. You take the old unhealthy trees out of the canopy, and then the younger trees can take up and grow up in the canopy, you know. So it's a thing of, it's management. It ain't killing the trees, you know. So let me get Brutus set up here and we'll whack this one down. Alright, I'll set this tree up and get it ready. And I'll let you come through for it to release it. I'm on the other scanner. Do I need to come down the woods? Yeah, Robin, come on down. Get this veneer tree if you don't care. Come on, go around on the main road for Tiny, and then you'll get back
past Junkyard and Derrick, come on back. I got one right against the line. Needs pulled out so I can drop this other one.
Now you get back in, I'll have the wheel clear that way and get there. Duck in the woods, up by Donnie.
We'll take that. Oh, pull the center out. Beautiful leg. We'll take that. Oh, pull the center out. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it! Rookie! That wasn't a boneheaded mistake. Son of a biscuit.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the buttons and leave me likes, comments, stuff. Let me know what's up. And to anybody's wanting logger weight gear, go to loggerweight.com and help yourself at the shop there. And we got all that good mess. Take care of it. And mostly just want to say thanks everybody. Hope everybody has a good one later on.